Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach, and today I am driving a 2006 Honda Element. Up front is a 2.4 liter inline 4, and down below is a 5-speed manual transmission. Now, I am super excited to be driving this here Honda Element. For that reason, you could probably guess this is the manual transmission version. I've reviewed a Honda Element before, of course, of the same body style. However, that car was automatic. And so now I get to experience the Element manual. But before we get on to anything else, I have a website, zackpradel.com, where you can buy stickers like this retro sticker pack. I also have a big friggin' bottle test sticker available, both with free shipping. You could submit your own vehicle to be reviewed by me through a quick and easy submission form, and you could read my behind the scenes blog to see what I'm filming before it comes out on the channel. But let's get back to that 2.4 liter under the hood, making 155 horsepower. Now, it is a K series, not quite the SI's K series, but a K series K24 nevertheless. And the reason I put a slight emphasis on 155 horsepower is actually the next year, in 2007, it made 165 horsepower. So you got a little nice 10 horsepower bump after this model year. The engine's reliable, easy to find parts for. The only issue really is that it's not fantastic on gas. However, you have to remember that this is shaped like a brick and not the lightest thing in the world, so that has a big factor to it as well. Like I said, paired to it, 5-speed manual transmission. Let's talk about the manual here in the Element. Well, I think it's fantastic that they offered a manual transmission. This is a very outdoorsy, enthusiast, loving life person type vehicle. And so having a manual transmission, to me, that's something that I would want. And I like it. Well, how does it feel? The clutch is nice and easy. It's a little bit stiffer than other Hondas I've driven, but this is also one of the largest Hondas I've driven with a manual. You know, I'm more used to Civics and Honda Beats and Honda Todays and little K cars like that. So that's to be expected. A heavier clutch is fine. The shifting throw is decent as well. It does have a really nice click into gear, like you would expect from a Honda. I wouldn't say as good as like a Honda Civic Si, but still, Honda shifters are always top tier in my mind. Interestingly though, the shifter is mounted to the dash like an EP3 Civic, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on. But overall, I am pretty happy with the manual transmission. I think all things considered, it's a good, fun manual. Last but not least, they did make Elements in all-wheel drive, but this one here is front-wheel drive. Interestingly, however, you could get a manual all-wheel drive. Now, they're a lot harder to find, but you could find manual all-wheel drive, much like you could with the early 2000s Honda CR-V, you could get in manual and all-wheel drive. With that out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have 3 main gauges. On the left is my tachometer, in the center is my speedometer, and on the right is my fuel and coolant temperature. What's interesting about these gauges, I don't know if I pointed this out in my last video, but they're sort of cone shaped. I feel like it's going to be impossible to record on video, but the actual plastic in front of the gauges is sort of cone shaped coming towards the driver. I don't know if this has like a significant purpose or reason for it, but I definitely find it very interesting. On the steering wheel, I don't have any buttons on the left, but on the right, I do have cruise control, so it is an asymmetrical steering wheel, but that's okay. Off to the left, I do have a cubby and a giant climate control vent, and on the door, I have lock and unlock, my power mirrors up top, child locks in the center, and power windows down below. Moving into the center, 2 more climate control vents, and I have an aftermarket radio because every radio from the 2000s was pretty garbage, and so this is outfitted with a nice newer touchscreen version. Then I have my climate controls. I love the tactile feedback of the climate controls. They sort of look like gears. They have these big chunky parts to them, which I really, really like, and they feel fantastic. Off to the left, I have my fan speed, then I have my temperature control, and off to the right, I have where to send it. Down below that, you'll find the hazard switch, kind of typical for Hondas to have it here, and then the shifter itself. Like I said, in the early 2000s, Honda did a hatchback Civic Si known as the chassis code EP3. I still have yet to review one. If anyone has one, please let me know, but this is the same style shifter. The EP3 was praised for having this sort of shifter coming off the front dash. It's kind of interesting. However, it actually does feel natural. Because this is such a utilitarian vehicle, and what I mean by that is like, you're gonna get in here with your muddy boots and, you know, it's a tool. It's a tool. Because of that, they've mounted the shifter up high, so you have this nice legroom and sort of breezeway for whatever it might be, and I really, really like that. And the manual transmission feels fantastic. Like I said, I do have some storage down below, and then I get this nice open area. If maybe like a dog or cat could sit down here, or just for moving about, switching drivers. You can really treat this vehicle like a cargo van. We'll get into that a little bit more in a little bit, but having the high mounted shifter and open floor plan really helps out that feeling. Then moving into the center, I do have some cup holders. So we will do a big freaking bottle test here in the manual Honda Element. And I am happy to report I've been driving around all morning with my big freaking bottle in place and it has not fallen over. So the 06 Honda Element manual passes the big friggin' bottle test. Now we gotta talk about the seats. Obviously, these are seat covers, but that makes sense. Find me a Honda Element that doesn't have seat covers because this is a very active lifestyle vehicle. You're gonna get them wet, you're gonna get them dirty, and so the seat covers are definitely nice to have. But speaking of seats, we do have back seats, so let's go do a backseat review. All right, so getting in the back seat is actually kind of interesting. So you have, of course, the front door, but then you have these little sort of half doors that open up quite like this, and then this is what the back seats actually look like. I know I'm trying to get better at actually filming the back seats themselves, and the Element is really easy to do so because it has so much space, but let's hop back here. All right, so now that we're in the back seat of the 2006 Honda Element manual, these seats are awesome. Now, something really cool about them is that you actually sort of get stadium seating, which means that I actually sit up a little bit higher than the people in front of me. Well, the driver and passenger, not randos, which is really, really nice and really cool. But now I will show something that the seats do that is absolutely awesome and why this thing can be used as a cargo van or camper. So, as my friend Ethan, the owner, is showing you, you can actually fold them flat and then secure them up against the wall. So if you have to carry some cargo and still have the back seats with you, you can absolutely do that. You can also fully remove the seats. The seats are not that hard to remove. So if you want to build a small camper, you can absolutely do that as well. And you can also fold these seats completely flat, fold the front seats flat and take the headrests out. And then you have a giant lay down seating area, which is just fantastic. The back of the Element is really the most important part. But speaking of which, let's go take a quick look at the cargo space. So coming around the back of the Element, it's also a little strange. So you can open up this top tailgate here, which is really nice, but then you also get a lower tailgate. So if you have anything in here like a pet or something that might roll around, it's not gonna fly out as soon as you open up the back. Now you come up here with this little lever, pull this down, it sort of folds out, and now you actually have a tailgate, which is fantastic. Tons of storage options over here, some cubbies and things like that, left and right, but then we also have this. Now I missed this on the first time around, but if you pull this out, it kind of looks like a picnic table. That's because it was originally designed to be so. Now you had to go to Honda and get the legs. They did not give you the legs like they did with the CRV. The CRV was just a regular card table with fold-out legs. This, you could actually go and buy the legs from Honda, and then you have a little built-in table in the back of your Element. Pretty cool. I love the look of it. I do like the plastic cladding. I think it adds that adventurous feel as I find myself on a gravel road now in southern Indiana / northern Kentucky. I'm really not sure where I crossed the border. Let's get to my final thoughts here on the Honda Element manual. Well, let's talk about the Element as a whole. I really love this car. To me, this is the Pokemon evolution of the Honda Fit. The Honda Fit is a fantastic vehicle that will fit a bunch of things. I've known a ton of people that have had Honda Fits, and they've been super useful. And even the owner of this Honda Element, Ethan, used to own a Honda Fit, and he traded it for this. The reason for that is because he has dirt bikes, and dirt bikes actually won't fit in a little Honda Fit. Take a drink for every time I say fit. Fit, fit, fit. That should get you good. But I love the ruggedness of these cars. I love how useful they are. And as we talked about with the back, I mean, you could use this as a little camper, and many people do. If you have a small business and need a cargo style van that you also need to put people in the back seat of on the weekends, here you go. If you have a very active lifestyle, this flooring in here, which in my previous video I said reminded me of a train car, and I really do still feel that way. You could get your muddy boots on here, wash it out, it's fine, it's resilient. And then now you take all of that and you sprinkle that manual transmission on top. Well, now you have something really special. Now you're cooking with gas. And that is just so cool to me. This is such a cool, unique car. It's so useful. It's very well designed, and it's really sad that they didn't make these much longer. 2011 was the final model year of the Honda Element. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Ethan for letting me take out his manual Honda Element and for welcoming me into his home last night, and his sweet, sweet girlfriend Lily for making me a home-cooked meal. I've been on the road for the last 9 days filming reviews, and so it was very nice to have a home-cooked meal for once in well over a week. Huge thank you to them. They're absolutely awesome. Ethan's been a very, very good friend of mine for a very long time, and I appreciate him very much. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.